Yo, what up, it's Don.
Samuel here.
Soul Brothers, what up? Back with another list for you guys. Compiled a list of the lightest hoop shoes right now.
Yes.
And
most minimal feeling.
most minimal feeling.
Nothing to do with weight.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's something I kind of am leaning towards more and more nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, I just hate a big bulky shoe like retro basketball shoes.
This boy has a size 14, so he has a big ass foot, so I understand. For me, it's not a huge deal, but like there are some shoes like the Jordan 33 and the 0.1 that I really just could not play in because it was so heavy and bulky, you know what I'm saying? So light shoes are very much welcome. I love playing light shoe and also minimal feeling because a shoe can be light, but if there's a lot of like bulk as far as like, you know, the midsole being chunky or something like that, then it doesn't feel very light, you know? So we have two tiers like always, and let's get it started off with the KD Tray 5.7.
In the second tier, of course.
Yes.
Tray 5.7 is super light on paper and feels super light on foot as well. It's just in the second tier because it's kind of that cheap light, which is kind of like easy to do. And so, you know, it doesn't feel super premium, so that's kind of, but you feel super light and minimal.
Yeah, because the materials and the tech that they use is real cheap, you know, so that's why it's in the second tier. But I like feeling it though, it feels pretty damn light, right? Okay. Alright, same with the Nike Precision 3.
Yeah,
you know?
Same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Same exact thing.
Alright, next shoe is the Anta KT4 Low. It is a low, it feels super light. The materials are very thin. Ventilation is real good. You can see through the upper. The cushion in the heel is, it doesn't feel bulky, but it feels a little mushy, which I guess it doesn't really affect how light and minimal it feels. I guess it's more of just the response. But Anta KT4 Low, super light and minimal. Alright, next shoe is the CP 3.12.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure how light it is on paper. It's probably not the lightest shoe by any means, but it's super minimal.
Yes.
Super minimal, and they actually managed to use some pretty premium, nice feeling materials and keep it very minimal and light feeling.
Yeah, and like the cushion, the foam isn't super thick or bulky, you know, chunky. Materials are super thin, you know, they keep it all very minimal. So very light feeling shoe. And same thing with the Nike PG3, you know, the midsole isn't very chunky. You know, like in the Danishi number 1, super, you know, like the protrusion, like it being so thick and stuff like that. PG3 doesn't really have that, you know, and the materials are very thin as well. So that's the second tier. Moving on to the first tier, we got the Kyrie Flytrap 2. So same thing, we got the materials being super thin, very light. And also, I feel like this shoe is really light as well. It's one of those cheap light shoes, but it doesn't feel as cheap as like the Precisions or the KD Trays because the materials are a little bit nicer. It's more like this textile material, and there's no extra added bulk. And it's actually a little it's used against the shoe because the cushion is just so shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you get very good court feel and very good response out of it. So there's that. Next shoe is a Under Armour Curry 303. You know, like Under Armour is very good at making light and minimal shoes. Also, like same thing, you know, they don't make very good cushions because they like to make it really responsive. But yeah, even though it is a synthetic leather, it's super thin. It feels very minimal and low to the ground. You know, the midsole is not very chunky, even though like it does look like it comes up a lot. So yeah, Curry 303, and same thing with the Curry 6.
I mean, one of the most minimal uppers there really is.
Yes.
The midsole adds a little bit more bulk to the just shoe in general, but all in all, it's a very light, minimal shoe. Yeah,
that knit material, that stretchy knit material, is probably one of the thinnest.
Yeah.
The second thinnest on this list, you know? And obviously, going on to the next shoe is the Converse All-Star Pro BB. So the Converse All-Star Pro BB is the lightest and most minimal shoe you can get right now. Well, I mean, you can't really get it right now because it's sold out. They'll probably restock soon in a couple of weeks.
And it's a high.
And it's a high.
So it's for that to be that, it's literally the lightest on paper.
Yeah.
And it's a high, which is kind of crazy.
And they're coming out with a low, so that's gonna be even crazier. But the second lightest and most minimal feeling is the Curry 6. You know, so I mean, you guys already know the material's so thin. The drop-in midsole, you don't even have to waste weight on the strobe board or anything like that, or extra glue. You just have that drop-in midsole, you know. Next shoe is the Zoom Freak 1. Zoom Freak 1 is actually really light on paper as well. I think it's like 11 point something ounces. Also feel like the materials feel super thin. Not a lot of extra bulk. There is a little bit of padding in the ankle area. But anyways, that concludes our list of the lightest and most minimal feeling shoes that you can get right now. I guess excluding the Converse All-Star Pro BB.
Yeah.
Anyways, hope you helped you guys out, and we'll see you guys next one.
Later.
Peace.